It's the National Football League on EA Sports as we get set for a Super Bowl 48 rematch. It's the Broncos and the Seahawks, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players. The OTAs, training camp, preseason has all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
Of Super Bowl 48, the Seahawks and Broncos are underway. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And Smith continues to show that his career resurgence hasn't been some fluke. He's brought a level of maturity, stability, and good play that allows him to... any team on any given week. The real question is whether or not he can become a championship caliber quarterback. Only time will tell, but for now, he's done enough to give this franchise reason to believe they can certainly get the job done.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Walker. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Faced with their first... opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen third down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board. They're able to avoid that 3 and out. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. We know that he can get first downs with his arm and his legs, Charles, and there when he gets outside of the pocket, the defense has to account for both, and he's able to complete it for the first.
And he's very comfortable outside of the pocket. Some quarterbacks, that's not their thing. For him, that seems to be the #1 asset to his game. Gets out into the open field, things seem to break down the secondary a little bit, and he picks out the right target.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
Now it's Smith. And Walker has it. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. They run again with Walker. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 4. They can still get a first down without scoring. Now Geno. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive had started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. LaVisca Chenault, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was the touchdown catch from LaVisca Chenault that capped it all off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. So now here are the Broncos to take over on offense, led out by their rookie quarterback, drafted 12th overall, Bo Nix out of Oregon.
And we knew from the moment the commissioner called his name on draft night, and by the way, laid a pretty good hug on the commissioner going across the stage. But we knew he had a chance to be the starter week 1. He dove right into the playbook, ingratiated himself with his teammates, and that's exactly how things have played out.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. To throw, here's Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. But there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Back to the air with Nix. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. To throw is Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Another completion there, and you think about the draft back in the spring. He's selected in the 1st round, getting the start here, as we mentioned, in week 1. It's got to be quite a whirlwind for a young quarterback.
Absolutely, because going in the 1st round, people don't clamor for you to be the starter right away, but many teams want you to get your feet wet first, you know, maybe just kind of hang out behind a veteran starter. In this case, though, he ascended right to the top role, and I know he's excited about the opportunity.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Now it's Nix.
That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And here's Trenton Gill now.
Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Baron Browning, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Smith.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy? Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Fighting through it, he's got space. And down inside the 15 he goes. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Nix.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
2nd and 10. Here's Nix.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle. And now, before we get to the extra point, remember, all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice here toward the end of the first half.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Throwing now is Geno.
That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawks touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. and he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Working out of the gun is Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Nix to throw again. Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second down and 3. Throwing Nix. Looks to the sideline and has Mims, who makes a catch. The rookie from Oregon on target with that one. It leads to a first down. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where it was the Bills who pick up the victory at home. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we head down south to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. The Falcons with a strong performance as they get the win at home in the opener. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll go play action with Nix. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Nix to the air.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reynolds. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
Shedding the tackle.
To about the 33-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
There we go,
Walker now on 1st and 10.
Fights off the defender.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Here we go.
Straight ahead, Walker runs through the contact, and he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 35. 66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. Here's Walker.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Smith.
He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
Now 2nd and 9. Nix from the shotgun. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Looking to throw. Nix.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
2nd and 5.
That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Screen play set up for Williams.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw. Here's Nix. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Back to throw again.
That is caught.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Back to Walker on first down.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The tackle made by Landon Roberts. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And Walker once more.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
106 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
A give for Walker running right.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
On the counter, it's Walker.
Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Fights loose.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. And that should just about do it. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down. Defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week 1, and one of our early window games here in week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.